Hi, I'm Joe Sawyer, the Superintendent of the Shrewsbury Public Schools. I'm recording this video message on Thursday, June 25th, thanks to the assistance of Mark Serra, the Executive Director of the Shrewsbury Media Connection. I hope that you've been enjoying the start of summer. While the school year is over, the school committee and the leadership team have remained very busy over the past 2 weeks with a variety of important issues. And I would like to speak to you briefly about 3 of them. First, today, Massachusetts Elementary and Secondary Education Commissioner Jeff Riley has issued requirements and guidance to Massachusetts public school districts regarding the opening of school in the fall. This comprehensive 28-page document, which can be found on our website under Current News, includes the following. Based on current medical research, and if current positive public health metrics continue, the intention is to have in-person school with preventive measures in place in order to better serve the holistic needs of our students. School districts will be required to plan for 3 types of scenarios: in-person, a hybrid of in-person and remote learning, and a fully remote learning option so that districts can respond to any changing circumstances regarding the virus, if necessary. Face masks or face coverings will be required for all staff and for students in grade 2 and above, and students younger than 2nd grade will be encouraged to wear them. Based on medical research, a minimum physical distance of 3 feet has been established, in conjunction with other preventive measures. Our school district will be reviewing the state guidance and will incorporate it into our planning for next school year. This is a very complex situation, and your patience is appreciated. There are many questions still unanswered, and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education indicates that it will be providing more information on other aspects, such as bus transportation, in the coming weeks. In the meantime, if you have a question, please email 2020reopen@shrewsbury.k12.ma.us, and we will try to answer it. Second, last night the school committee heard a report on the equity audit that was performed for our school district by the Aspen Valley Collaborative. This audit included interviews or focus groups with parents, staff, and students, school visits, and a review of various data regarding our district. The audit's findings raise a number of issues and important questions regarding how our district can provide a more equitable educational experience for all of our students, and how we can ensure that all students and families feel accepted and respected regardless of their race, religion, socioeconomic status, or any other characteristic. These audit findings will be an important piece of our ongoing work to live up to our core values of equity and respect. At last night's meeting, I shared initial steps that our district will take to advance equity and anti-racism, which is critically important work. Over the coming weeks and months, our school district will be listening to our stakeholders' perspectives on these issues and learning about how we might best address these issues through studying key research and literature. We will also be establishing the Shrewsbury Public Schools Equity and Anti-Racism Coalition. This coalition will consist of representatives from stakeholders, including students, parents, community, and staff. It is envisioned that this coalition will have a steering committee and subcommittees for the following goal areas for advancing equity and anti-racism: curriculum instruction and assessment, school culture and climate, policies and practices, adult learning, hiring and employment practices, and community engagement. This coalition will be charged with creating overarching essential questions and strategic priorities to guide the district's work on these issues. Reviewing the work that the district has done on these issues in recent years, the equity audit, and other information related to our current situation. Developing a plan with specific measurable goals and recommended action steps under each of the goal areas listed. And publicly reporting activities in order to update the school committee and the community on our progress. If you're interested in being part of this coalition or otherwise helping with this work, please send an inquiry to us at the email address at shrewsbury.k12.ma.us. The third and last topic I want to discuss is our ongoing fiscal crisis. Last night, the school committee voted to enact Phase 1 of budget cuts that need to be made for next year. Almost all of these cuts, which totaled $1.95 million and included the reduction of almost 30 positions from our program, were planned in early March, prior to the coronavirus pandemic, because of the difficult structural budget problem our community faced at that time. Unfortunately, the loss of local and state revenue since then, due to the pandemic, has created a larger problem, and we are projecting an additional multi-million-dollar additional budget gap. While we hope that some forms of state and/or federal funding will help close that gap, unless there is substantial alternative funding or mitigation regarding next year's costs, we will be faced with making additional cuts to personnel and programming. It was with reluctance and disappointment that I recommended the cuts that we made last evening, as our students will lose out on important academic programming and supports, and because many terrific Shrewsbury Public Schools employees either will lose their job or have their hours reduced. The school committee and I truly hope that we can find a way to move forward to next year without further personnel layoffs or furloughs that would further compromise our educational program. I will keep you updated as we get more information and make decisions over the summer, leading up to the setting of our budget at the annual town meeting, which will now happen sometime in August. In the meantime, if you have the ability to help, I encourage you to make a gift to the Colonial Fund in order to provide us with quality educational experience for our students next year, which will be a critical time for learning in the aftermath of this year's school closure. I am extremely grateful that so far during this appeal, we have had 150 generous donors make about $33,000 in gifts to the Colonial Fund, which will make a big difference for our students next year by supporting our district's greatest needs. To make a gift, go to schools.shrewsburyma.gov/future. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Thank you for your continued support, and stay well.